All right, so we're going to come right into some gentle mobility and some stretches. So yoga blocks are all you need. If you don't have them, again, a rolled up blanket or a bath towel can also be helpful when we get to supported fish. The blocks are going to help us in our mobility though, so if you have those or something similar, grab those. Set your blocks to the top of your mat, and we're going to step our right foot in between them with our hands on top of the blocks. So we're just going to really open through the lower half of the body to begin. So let your hips fall into low lunge as you lift your chest. And then let the hands do the work. Push your hips back using your arms into a half splits. Now the foot can stay either on the floor or it can lift, whatever feels better and more supportive for your hamstring and your calf. And we're just going to flow that. So come forward, drop into the hips, open the chest. And then push the hips back, letting the arms do the pushing and the pulling. So the legs can really be passive and just focus on release through the hips and through the hamstring and calf. As you come forward into your low lunge, think like a cow-like spine, opening the chest, pushing your belly button into the thigh. And as you sit the hips back, round your spine, think drawing your belly button away from the thigh. That 2 more times. Really opening through these hips, finding mobility through the body. 1 more time. And then slowly shift into your lunge here. Now you can bring both blocks to the inside of that right leg if that feels supportive. We're going to tuck the left toe under. We're going to lift the left knee off the floor. Now your right block can be just a target. Keep your left hand on the left block. We're going to open the right arm up towards the sky. Twist your chest to the inner right thigh. And then you're going to bend the arm. Bring your forearm down towards that block right inside the right foot. Let's flow that. Inhale, open up into your twist. Exhale, bring the forearm down to the block. Now, if you like to keep the left knee grounded here, that's great too. Maybe the left knee being on the floor doesn't feel very restorative to the body. But we want to find here is this mobility in the hips and this nice thoracic reach in the twist. Let's go 2 more here. And release. Bring your hands to the blocks. Lower your left knee if you had it lifted. Sweep your right leg back. And then sit your hips back, but keep your chest up. You may walk the blocks back with you. So we're in like a pose position. Bring your right fingertips behind your right ear. Press your left hand into the block. Open up into a little bit of a twist. Up and twist. Close your. Now, if this feels good, I'm going to invite you to stay exactly as you are here. An extension by reaching that right arm and then threading it underneath the left. So finding a little bit more scapular retraction and protraction, meaning pulling the shoulder blade towards the spine and then pulling the shoulder blade away from the spine. So now finding more mobility through the shoulder and the chest, which can be really helpful in our weightlifting program. Also, countering posture from sitting at a desk all day or whatever our work activities may be. Slowly. Other side. So come back into your tabletop, walk your blocks forward. This time, step your left foot forward. Again, come into that calf spine, so belly. You sit the back round the spine. And then flow that, maybe matching it to your breath if that feels supportive. But really just focus on finding space through the hip of the right leg. Come forward. Straight of the left leg as you hinge the hips backwards. That feels hips and through the legs. This next one, when you're in the lunge, we're going to bring both blocks to the left leg. Now, the right knee up, or you left fingertips behind the left ear. Keep your right hand on the block. Press up into your twist. And then slowly lower down. Maybe we add the full extension. We open up into the twist, reach the arm. And then as we come down, we bring the forearm to the block a little bit on the right side. So listen to your body. The thoracic region doesn't have a whole lot of mobility. It's more structured because that's where the rib cage is. So maybe we don't have a lot of, maybe the bent arm variation feels better in our bodies. Just explore, see what feels good. Play with finding more mobility. Listen to how that feels in the shoulder blade, but also still in those hips as we're in this low lunge hold. And release. Bring both hands to the blocks. We're going to step that left foot back. Walk your blocks back with you. Come into this lifted child's pose variation. So you're sitting the hips back. And this time again, we'll start with the fingertips behind the ears. Press into the right hand. Find a little bit of a twist. Lift that left elbow up. And then we'll start by just towards the press into the right hand. Find your lift. And then close yourself off. A couple more just like that. Now, again, if you like, maybe we add the extension of the arm. So we thread it underneath, and then we have that nice long arm, focusing on that shoulder retraction and protraction on the left. Opening up through the shoulder and the upper back and the chest. And slowly release. Nice job. So we'll set ourselves up for supported fish. So take one of your blocks on its lowest setting and place that, if you were laying down, right about where your shoulder blades would be. And then take another one about 6 inches behind it. Imagine where the back of the head would be, and it'll be on its mid setting. And we're going to come to lay down on these blocks, placing the shoulder blades or the scapular region right on top of that first block. And then the second block will grab the back of the head. And we're just going to play around with a little bit of arm mobility. So make sure the upper body feels supportive. And you already kind of feel like it's opening through the chest. And we're just going to add the arms. Slowly find a cactus shape in the arms. They'll probably be floating from the floor. And then we're just going to take them overhead, crossing the arms overhead, and then opening back up into that cactus shape, drawing the elbows towards the ribs. As you draw them back up, switch which arms on top of the crisscross overhead this time, and then draw them back down towards the ribs, elbows, staying nice and bent. And just keep flowing this, finding, again, a nice opening through the upper body, specifically chest, back, and shoulders. Creating space to the front body, which tends to be more convex and concave, with that posture of sitting at a desk or being on our phones where the upper back is rounded and the chest is kind of caving inwards. Now we're inviting that chest to be nice and open and supportive, which can also release a lot of pressure through the neck, which can be really helpful, especially if we have tension headaches or things of that sort that stem from cervical spine. But more than anything, just notice how it feels. And only move the arms as much as feels supportive and restorative to your body. Not looking for any pain or any forced range of motion. But honoring our body where it is in this day and in this moment. And then going from there. The next time you reach arms overhead, let them just stay there. Maybe you grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows, depending on the structure and mobility of your shoulders. And just let gravity push the arms closer towards the floor. So you're just kind of hanging out in space, arms hovering or floating, and then gravity is just opening up through the chest. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. Take a nice deep inhale and a big exhale through the mouth. 2 more deep breaths. Big inhale through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth. Last deep breath here. And exhale, let it go. Slowly release your arms. You're going to bring them down by your side. Press into the forearms. Tuck your chin to your chest to press yourself up. And we're going to finish with a standing release for the calves and the hamstrings. So however you like to come up. Again, you'll need your blocks. You're going to have one block on its lowest on the floor, and you're going to have another block oriented on its highest setting in your hands. Now, the block that's on the floor, you're going to place the ball of the foot on the edge of that block and the heel of your foot on the floor. And the block in the hand is going to be a support here. So slowly start to fold forward. The block is going to come in front of the toes and then push that block downward until you feel a nice stretch running up the Achilles, through the gastrocnemius of the calf muscle, maybe behind the knee and all the way up into the hamstring, even maybe into the glute, as this whole back chain is interconnected. And just take a couple of breaths here. Nice release for this back chain. Bend your knee of the foot that's on the block and slowly press yourself up. And we're just going to switch sides. So release that foot. Let's set up on the other foot. So the ball of the foot right underneath the big toe is right on the edge of that block, and the heel is on the floor. And it's okay if the block lifts a little bit. That's what we're doing with this block, is pushing it back down. So bring that block as you start to fold on top, and then push the block towards the floor so you feel that nice stretch through the whole back side of that leg. And again, just take a few deep breaths here. And again, bend the knee to release. You can leave your blocks this time and come just to have a stand on your mat. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Roll your neck any way that feels supportive. And just check in and see how your body feels after that quick mobility and recovery session. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had an amazing workout. And until next time, be well.